Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Hi, Connie. Here we are.
Hi, Lynn.
Green Home Marin. Welcome, viewers. Welcome, everyone. Hope everybody's well. We've got an exciting show today with a friend, Marcie Prohofsky, and she's going to be sharing some amazing information today. So we welcome you to the show. Connie, go ahead.
Yeah, Marcie was with us last week for part of the show, and now she's going to be in center stage this week. We're really excited to see you, Marcie, and have some good information on cooking and artistic ways of food creation.
Hey, Connie, we both have flowers behind us.
Oh, we do.
And
yeah.
Look at my daughter graduated, and look at these.
Beautiful.
And her middle name is Rose.
And
she's off with friends today for 10 days. And, you know, my mother always said, when you're down to your last $10, always buy flowers.
Yeah,
such an important thing.
It's very auspicious, you know, to have flowers in your presence, live flowers, you know, not dried flowers or wilted flowers. Those aren't auspicious, but beautiful blooming flowers, blooming plants, you know. Yeah, perfect.
Beautiful. I've got to work outside and get my backyard now that she's graduated. I graduated. She graduated yesterday, and you know, it's a big deal because my home has been green since 1983. Cool. And it was because my son had allergies. I don't know if you do that, but it was powerful to mother all my kids with a green home. And we started this show, Connie and I, because Connie does design and color consultant, and she's an artist. And I'm an artist with food. And I've been teaching health in homes and green homes for a long time. So the two of us came together and said, we need to do this. And so that's how this show got started. Connie and I both have amazing years of experience and strength and hope for so many areas of our lives. And I think for me, Connie, the last few shows have been powerful, right? They've been really powerful.
Really incredible and great information and tips for homeowners and business owners on solar, feng shui, food, you know, we did two solar shows, one on solar sprinklers, which we haven't featured yet, but we did talk about it, and the other one with Roberto on solar panels. So we already have lots of information for you all. If you want to, you know, have us, you know, send the information to you, you can access it on actionsofimpact.com green home, and you know, review our shows and the information. So yeah, take it away.
Yeah, I think for me, we started this platform on Earth Day. My son, Adam, and I just want to honor him because he just got the bigger website up, My RDT. So if anybody's interested in getting support systems from an amazing entrepreneur, I'm going to put that across the banner right now because he's been a huge support to Connie and I having the show and really developing it. But My RDT, it's a renewabledreamteam.com. So if you're interested, you can go on myrdt.com for amazing technology, amazing support systems. You know, he's branded so much and done so much for the Torch family, my organization. And Connie, I know we're putting together some work with you now, and it's just been really fun to be able to move forward. And actually, Marcie, that's coming on, was actually on the Earth Day event, so we'll have to chat about that. And next week, I want to tell you all, you can't miss next week. Like you can't miss today either. But next week we have an amazing entrepreneur, Alex Jack. Alex and I have been together, but he wrote this book, Using Diet and Lifestyle to Strengthen Natural Immunity, Develop Your Intuition, and Radiate Clarity and Peace. And Marcie knows Alex, so hopefully she and I can talk a little bit about that. He was the editor of the East-West Journal. So the East-West Journal was the first.
Subscribe to that.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
wild. That's wild. That's so cool. What year was that?
Late 69, 70,
Yeah.
79. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And he wrote, this is one of my favorite, Let Food Be Thy Medicine. And I was reading out of this last week, and he's going to come on and talk about COVID. So it's not to be missed. Please share this out. Please share our show out. Please get people engaged. It's every Saturday at 9 a.m. And we have, if you go on this website, actionsofimpact.com/green home, you'll get a lot of information on all the shows that are there. And then if you go on our Eco-Inspired Living, which is our website, you'll really find out a lot more. Let me see here. Connie, what do you believe in? Like, I mean, we had the oil show with the tapping. That was pretty amazing.
With Penny Norcott, that was wonderful. And I just put some lavender and Valor essential on, and I breathed it before the show, to get myself centered. Essential oils, everyone should have an essential oil kit in their house. I mean, forever, there's just from soup to nuts, you can work with essential oils and heal yourself of many different things. And sleep, help you sleep, with migraine headaches, with stress, with things. I mean, you name it. There's a really great small essential oil booklet that gives you all, the remedies that, correspond with the different ailments and conditions. And it's just, it's a progressive way of taking care of ourselves with our health. And I mean, I say progressive, it's an ancient way, but for today's, living, it's progressive in that, you don't have to be running to the doctor for every single thing that goes on with yourself or myself. I can take care of pretty much everything with essential oil therapy. So everybody can do it. You don't have to be a specialized, practitioner to use essential oils. You can come on and find out about essential oils with us. And
Yeah, totally. Penny brought together different artists. So if you're an artist of different, ideas of, like, she does tapping. And she teaches all about tapping. Connie does energetic medicine, and I do a lot with the body, the physical body, with all different types of forms of healing. I'm Native American, so I'm kind of my own little shaman with the body, but I'm a really good healer. And so the two of us, we should have that talk too. I mean, Alex, we're in this healing mode because Marcie's coming on to teach about food. And, I just feel like we're healers. And if you're a healer, essential oils has been, since COVID, that's when I joined in, because I knew that it was important to protect myself and put something more into my toolkit. So I'm thrilled about them. Today I have Valor and I have Lemon. And I did Table Talk Health for 7 shows last week and 7 days, and it was really great. I'll probably continue now that the graduation's over. But I just feel like, there's times in our lives where we need extra things in our toolkit. And today I ran and I lit a candle before the show, and I lit it for my daughter because she just graduated and she's 18, and the flowers I've got surrounding me, and I'm just going to miss her like crazy in August when she goes off to college. She's going to University of Colorado. But, for any of us that are, aging, making your home beautiful is why this show's happening. I go into Connie's home and I feel welcomed, I feel kind, I feel cared for. And isn't that true that we need that just for ourselves? Right, Connie? I feel like, I'm cleaning up after a lot of full school year, but it's super important to really start moving energy in your house. And I think that's what Marcia Chung Galanco gave us a couple weeks ago in Feng Shui, and we talked a lot about that in the last few weeks because Connie knows an old system. Why don't you share about the system that you know?
Well, I brought up on our early show the Vastu discipline, which is, actually older than feng shui. Vastu is from, the Indian tradition, and it's the discipline of placement. It's a simpler concept. It doesn't get as detailed as feng shui does, but it's basically that everything has its place, and it works with the qi energy also, the same as feng shui. There's great wisdom out there for placement of your furniture, placement of your artwork, placement of placement of flowers, placement of lighting.
Definitely.
We just need to pay attention to that. So we've got lots to talk about today. Thanks.
All right. Well, let's bring our beautiful co-host in. We call all of our people that if you want to come on the show, please be in touch with us at this link, the Green Home. You can go on there and see all the shows that we gave already. And you can see actually the links on Eco Inspired Living website. So we post our links and our shows on every single place that we can. We're growing in all the different areas. So we would love for you to be in touch. You can also email us at the Torch Family. We need actually a Green Home website up and running. Connie and I are working on it, and it's really been fun. Shoot, I've been doing that this week. So we welcome you to the Green Show, and we welcome our guest, who is the owner. I've known her for, I believe, maybe 4 years. And I'll talk to her when she jumps on, but let's bring her into the show. Here's Marcie Prohofsky. Good morning. Yay. Nice to see you.
Nice to be seen. Hi.
Good. Nice to
see you.
We're here. We're doing our shows. And you came on last week and gave some really great tips. And I said, Marcie, you got to come on for the full show and show us, what you do. And I know you run magic. And I know when I've been out to your house and we've done a potluck on the beach, and I've been out a couple times with macrobiotic friends, and we come together from a macrobiotic community of people that chose to eat well, but really environmental work came out a lot from the East West Journal. And Connie just told me that she was getting the East West Journal, Alex's magazine, way back. I know, isn't that wild?
Kind of dates me, doesn't it, girls? Yeah.
But Alex is coming on next week, and we know each other, Marcie and I, probably for many years because of practicing, an art form that really brought my way of life in my home. I mean, my children's health became tremendously. I will have tears because. I mean, without macrobiotics in my personal life, I don't know. My kids' flus, colds, everything just disappeared. And I'm just so eternally grateful. And they all cook really well. They all eat organic. I mean, it's just huge. And that's a big thing because the next generation, my grandkids, will even have less comorbidities, that are happening in our world, like diabetes, heart disease, all the things that can happen around food. And that's been my specialty. And it's definitely Marcie's specialty. So I'll hand it over to you, Marcie, for a minute. Connie, any questions before we get started?
No, I'm just anxious to hear Marcie, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, and introduce yourself, and then we'll hop off. And just remember, we're here in the background, Marcie, whenever you need us. So just, we're listening through the whole show. So we're just going to pop off and give you the full screen in a minute.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that either of you want to hear about?
Well, we can ask questions after, but I'd love, introduce yourself for a minute while we're here. Introduce yourself, and tell the viewers who you are. And then we'll hop off and when you start your discussion. I just know about Orgasmic Kitchen, and we talked about it last week. And I used to teach about, I taught a lot about sexuality and energy healing with food for years at Kripalu Yoga Center. I trained Kripalu Yoga Center back in '93. And so I did a lot of teachings back in my 20s and 30s. So it's just kind of fun to be able to I know that name just gets me excited. So that's one thing.
Well, So, so Orgasmic Kitchen was my brand that actually births from an era where I was living at a retreat center in San Francisco. It's called One Taste, and they researched orgasms, literally, like sensuality. It was a wild ride. It was a great, informative time for me to awaken to my own desire, not just related to sex, but related to everything in life. And the idea is that orgasm is actually just the energy that we are always experiencing in life. It's not necessarily just limited to sex. And it was there that I volunteered in their kitchen and started cooking for groups. I already loved cooking for people and gotten a lot of praise for it. I was already using food as medicine. I wasn't yet introduced to macrobiotics. And I got a chance to cook for 40 residents on, a couple times a week with a small team of people. So it was really fun to work, to collaborate, to feed folks. And it was great so that's kind of the birth of Orgasmic Kitchen. And I love words and sounds and the senses, and it all just makes sense. It all just fits together. So a lot of what I do is I help people connect nutrition, actual food that sustains us. And it can go beyond that, like what else nourishes us in our life, from like music to good rest to time with friends in nature to pleasure. Because we can certainly eat, we can certainly cook, we can do anything without pleasure. And I know that for me, often I can fall into that trap of doing something and I forget, like, where am I in the equation? Where's the human being? Where's that body, that animal being that is all about senses? And I can guarantee my little dog, she does very little that's not about pleasure.
Yeah, dogs are like that.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, let's let you have the screen. We appreciate you being on the show. Connie and I are thrilled and excited to hear you. And welcome, Marcie Prohofsky and the Orgasmic Kitchen. She talked a lot about nurturing diet last week when we were on, and we're thrilled to have you. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
And if you want me to just chat in the chat box, you can put your website and we can put that up across the screen.
Okay. Well, it's orgasmickitchen.com.
Okay. All right. I think that's important for everybody to find you.
Yeah.
And Connie and I will.
And people can also find me at on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called Nourishing Now. And you can also, of course, find me through my name and Orgasmic Kitchen. And what else? Yeah,
is that right there? Is that spelled right? Orgasmic
Kitchen? Right. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We're gonna hop off. Thank you, Connie.
All right. So does Connie? Oh, there we go. It's all about me. Hi, guys. This is Marcie with Orgasmic Kitchen, and thanks for stopping by. Lynn is doing such a great thing with this organization. It was Actions of Impact. Lynn, help me out here. Anyhow, she's a very impactful.
Yes, Actions of Impact.
Actions of Impact. Great. I love how in this StreamYard she can pop in and out. It's funny. So I just wanted to take some time today to talk with people about how to bring more pleasure into your experience of cooking. Because it's easy just to look at it as a chore, but what if it was looked at as something, as a source of enjoyment, and both the doing of it as well as getting a chance to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And then also my idea is that it's pleasurable when we make it, it's pleasurable when we eat it, and it's also a half hour, 2-3 days later, we feel good. We feel pleasure for having eaten it. We feel sustained. We feel energized. We feel light. We feel clear instead of foggy and weighed down. I know for me, I've definitely had meals where I have Let me open this up a little bit, where I've either overeaten or I've just made poor choices. There's what's something I call the 15-second rule. So when we are hungry, so there we have 15 seconds. When we get to that place where we're really hungry, some people call hangry, where it's hungry and angry mixed together. And the anger usually arises because we're hungry. Our basic human need of food is not being met. We've waited too long. And so one of the things that I really want to emphasize is that you have 15 seconds to make a good choice or a bad choice. So it's easy just to grab chips or the low-hanging fruit or pull into that place to have like something to go. But what if we actually had things that were available that did sustain us? And you might sometimes even just notice, well, actually, I'm just thirsty. Yum. And speaking of pleasure, right? You can see this beautiful glass. I had a client make me this. He was a glass artist, and he made me this glass. It's bright orange with this blue trim, and it's got little hearts in it. And I actually put my name, Marcie, on here, and I put the word love on the other side. Everything we take in, right? Everything we take in, we take in. So we want to put in good things. We want to put in beauty. We want to put in nourishing food. We want to put in clean water. We want to cook cookware that's clean. That's one thing that people don't realize, is that most of the cookware out there, not just non-stick cookware, has a lot of heavy metals or chemicals that is going into our food and subtly making it not taste as good as we may think. Or we don't even realize, we don't know what we don't know. So we're cooking in cookware that actually is making our food taste not as tasty. We're cooking at high temperatures. We're cooking with a lot of water. We're diluting the nutrients in our food, and so it doesn't taste as good. So I want to focus a little bit today on just some of my favorite tools and my favorite ways to make cooking more enjoyable, because my mission is to have you cook more for yourself at home and have that be an enjoyable experience so that you'll want to do it again and again and again. I'm a firm believer that right now, especially right during these shelter in place COVID times, we want to be eating really healthy, clean food to boost our immune system, to make sure our gut is healthy. And that looks generally like a lot of fiber. We get a lot of fiber in whole grains and vegetables, produce. And there's a little kitty in my yard, a little stray kitty. And I just lost my train of thought. So enjoyable, right? God, I totally lost my thought. That cat completely came in and ransacked my mind. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite tools to make it enjoyable. I know what I was going to say. Right. So unless we are cooking for ourselves, we're putting our health in someone else's hands. And right now they're talking about forced immunizations for COVID. Once they come out with a vaccine, they are keeping us sheltered in place. So there's a lot we don't actually have control over right now that impacts our health. And when we go out and eat in restaurants, we have no idea what type of cooking methods they're using, the level of the quality of the ingredients. They're using a ton of sodium, and also cheap, inexpensive cooking fats, oils. Even though they might be serving olive oil, oftentimes restaurants will use a canola oil, olive oil blend. And canola oil is not something we want to be using, in our food. It was originally designed for machines. So again, eating at home is the best way you can support your health. Okay. cooking for yourself, best way to support your health. All right, so a couple of things. How to make it enjoyable. So make it really colorful. Use tools that you really love to use that are both convenient and feel good in our hands, right? So I have this beautiful knife. There's all sorts of different knives, right? This is, I think, a 5-inch blade. Chef knives come in 8 inches or 5 inches. They vary in length. You can even sometimes find a 4-inch, which can be good for kids. You want to make sure your knife is sharp. It'll cut through vegetables much easier. Anything it will cut through easier. And that easy a smooth, that converts into enjoyment and pleasure. Okay, so good sharp knife. And then if you happen to cut yourself, if you cut yourself with a sharp knife as well, you make a clean cut, not something that's going to be really rough to heal from. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is make sure you have a cutting board that doesn't skid, so it's solid, so it's safety. When we have safety, our nervous system, our limbic system, that reptile brain at the base of our brain, we're more relaxed. So if we have tools that are really solid, a cutting board that is really, doesn't skid, and you can easily make a wooden cutting board that normally would slide, shift around, or some of the plastic ones too shift around. You can take a towel or paper towel or a kitchen rag, get it wet, wring it out, and then just place it underneath your cutting board. And then it'll not skid any longer. So then again, you have that safety. You've got a sharp knife, you've got your cutting board. It's safe, right? So we can relax. When we're relaxed, we just naturally are in a better disposition, and everything is just better when we feel safe. Okay? So, and then the next level is, and I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite tools in just a moment, because there are so many kitchen gadgets on the market, right? So many. Some people really, that's what they love doing most. And I'm more of like, okay, let me get a couple of things that are my favorites, and I just use those again and again. All right, so the next thing is color. I mentioned color. So one thing you can do is you can put on an apron. It's nice to put on an apron. It keeps your clothes clean, kind of puts you in the mood. If you have an apron that's colorful or that has some, maybe you got it while you're traveling on vacation, or it has a photograph of someone you love, it's just something that uplifts you. That's a great thing to have too, okay? And then we're talking about food, right? So colorful food. And plating your food, right? You can throw food onto you're serving your meal, and you can either just dump everything on your plate, it's all spilled and splattered, or you can build it really beautifully. And if we have time, I will do that in just a second. So I'm gonna move this to the side, this cutting board, and I'm gonna show you one of my favorite tools. So this is called a Salad Master machine. Can you see it? So it's a hand-operated food processor. It has a little crank. It doesn't plug in, which is great. So you can take it camping. You could when we ever get to go to concerts or live games again, you could totally make a badass salad or prepare foods. It has 5 different cones, so you can cut your fruits and vegetables in all sorts of different ways, right? I'll be like Edward Scissorhands here. So I love this thing because I can just make the most incredible meals really quickly, whether it's an Asian stir fry or setting up a lasagna in just a matter of minutes from hard noodles. I have an electric skillet, and that's one of my other favorite tools. Let me show you that one. So this is an electric skillet. I can use it as a griddle. It's like non-stick, even though this is made with a titanium. This is a line called Salad Master, which I've fallen in love with. I can use this as a griddle for my tortillas, right? I can do meats on here without any oil if I wanted to. I can build my lasagna in here. What I can do is I can put it underneath my salad master and just literally cut my vegetables directly into the skillet, or any cookware really, because the base of the salad master machine is round. I don't know if you can see that here. It's round, right? So a bowl goes right in there, or a skillet, you know, I can put a pot right underneath there, right? So I can reduce the time it's taking for prep. And I'm going to show you this. It's so fun. I love to make a rainbow salad with my cone, one of my cones here. And we'll see. I don't know if it's going to probably shake the video. Unfortunately, I don't have it more stable, but this is called a Chioggia beet. Beets are particularly great for the liver. And the liver is a storehouse of anger. It's it cleans our blood. Definitely want to strengthen your liver. Look at how beautiful that is. Then I can also do it with a yellow. This is a yellow beet. So there's all sorts of beautiful yellow, colored beets. I love this machine. So now I've got this, I'm building a beautiful salad. I can click this out. And then I'm gonna cut up my purple cabbage. Cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable. It's really good for us, especially helpful to detox from fatty deposits. But look here's the base of a salad. What I can do now is I can add an apple to make it a little bit sweeter. I can then drizzle my olive oil. I can even, this is one thing too, I can take my lemon and I can zest it as well with my cone, number one. I love this thing. I could just, oops, can't see it. Let's see here. Can you? So I'm just adding zest to this salad now. I don't know about you, but I love the zest. And this is a homegrown lemon. And there are so many great nutrients in the skins. I can quarter this and I can just put it on here and it juices it as well. So this is one of my favorite tools, the Salad Master Machine. And if you want more information about this, you can reach out to me. Go to Orgasmic Kitchen and you can see it. I can meet with you, do a little demo on that. I've got over here now my electric skillet. My tortillas are heating up. So I can use this. I can actually just sear vegetables right directly in here if I had started earlier. I'm just going to reheat a little bit of, this is a veggie combo that I made. This is called kinpira. I'm just going to reheat this. And I'm going to use this as my taco filling. I'll probably put a little bit of the salad as a little kraut on the top. And then we'll build a salad. I'll just show you really quickly how beautiful you can make your food. Your presentation is really part of what you're eating, right? See your food. You are eating with your eyes, your senses, the other senses. All right, so these are almost warm here. So I'm just going to build this now. So I like to use my hands, but here you can build this, right? See how pretty that's getting? And then if you had a little bit of a tahini cream, or if you do eat dairy, sour cream, they make a lot of vegan things now. You can just set that on the side right there, and I'll build the second one. I mean, this is just a very simplified version, right? You could add some additional salsa on there. And see how gorgeous that is? So we really want to build beauty into it. And I'm gonna even, I've got some sauerkraut here. I'm just gonna put the last little dabs of the sauerkraut on there. So that's one of the things I really want to emphasize is creating beauty, right? When you create beauty, you get a lot of extra bang for your buck. You get really fed by your food before you even start eating. One of the things I know this is about creating an eco home, right? I'm really big fan of how can we be as I would call myself a frugal gourmet, right? So I really want to urge you to reduce your single-use plastic as much as possible. Buy things that are in glass, buy things that are in bulk. Even, like I still have some old Ziploc bags that I rinse out and reuse. Some people don't want to deal with that as much, but they have these great silicone Ziplocs now of different sizes, right? So you can store your snacks in these smaller ones. They go bigger, they get even much bigger, so you can stick them in the freezer. I love these, and I really want to emphasize you consider different products to start making your home a little bit more green. One of the things too I love is using just hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, white distilled vinegar. These are old school, been around forever products that are so versatile. You can put into a search online to see all sorts of ways that you can clean with these. And so then you reduce a lot of those things you can buy either in bulk, unfortunately still on plastic, some of it's in glass, or in cardboard, including your laundry detergent, including your dishwashing powder for your dishwasher. So you can buy these in cardboard instead of in plastic. And I just want to urge you, I live here at the beach, and let me just show you where I live. So that's San Francisco and Angel Island and the Golden Gate Bridge out in the distance. And it's a gorgeous place to live. And that said, we get so much single-use plastic that rolls up onto the shore. It's epic. I mean, I knew it was bad, but to experience it on a first-hand basis, straws and lids and bottles and all sorts of plastic things, candy wrappers, food packaging. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And as it breaks down, we are all consuming it. We're all breathing it in. We're absorbing it. And so I just want to urge you to eliminate that, increase the amount of fruits and vegetables you're eating, whole grains, and then you can add your meat in or your dairy in, like a little bit here, a little bit there, if you so choose. There's so many different diets, and I don't want to start making this a competition between the diets, because that doesn't get us anywhere. I want to be supportive, and I want to invite you to add more fruits and vegetables into your diet and learn how you can make it more pleasurable in doing so. And I'm happy, if you are wondering, well, how can I do it? Maybe you need a little bit of support. Please go to my website, orgasmickitchen.com, and you can sign up to connect with me for a confident kitchen breakthrough session. This is where you learn how to cook more confidently. It's a confident cooking breakthrough session. Okay. So we'll talk about we'll review what skills and tools you have at your fingertips already, and what your goals are in terms of feeding yourself and your family, what your health goals are, what your biggest challenges are in feeding yourself, and we'll review that and come up with a game plan. And if it makes sense to work together, great. And if not, I'll still offer some resources for you. So please go ahead and click through to orgasmickitchen.com so you can sign up for that confident cooking breakthrough session with me. And also, if you want to learn more about these signature tools that I've talked about today, I rep a line of incredible tools, the Salad Master, as well as a a non-toxic line of cookware that's really superb. The vegetables, the food in this cookware is so delicious. That's why I use it personally, and that's why I recommend it to all my friends and family and all my clients. So what else do I want to talk about? I think I want to invite you guys back on. Yeah. Hi. I can't hear you. There we are.
There we are.
Love that salad mask.
No,
Isn't it amazing? I totally adore it. I think it's like so fun.
Have you seen that before, Lynn?
Yeah, you showed it. Remember we did the one up at camp, and I totally yeah. I've seen you work with this a lot. I totally love it.
Yeah. And,
it's really fun.
It's priced like a salad, like a Vitamix. It's around $500, but people can actually earn it as a gift.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, part of our advertising, our marketing budget, we offer a lot of our products to help as an invitation to help have people make introductions and referrals, and so people can earn it as a gift for helping us spread the word about our company.
Ooh, okay, Connie. Well, I just like
baby.
I wanted to bring it, like the color idea back to the forefront, because we just had you on last week because of this whole idea of making food in mandalas. And I got so excited about it because I have been totally all about that. I believe that, one of these early moments when I was talking, I was with Michio and Aveline. We were doing a spiritual seminar, and Aveline started telling us about the picture of your food. Like, make a picture from your food. And today, Connie and I were so funny because here are flowers, and all food products come from flowers. And so this is so funny. So Connie has a flower behind her. I have a flower, and it was just serendipitous today. It was totally but color is really up for me in this whole idea. And there was a woman doing the chewing. We were learning chewing, in macrobiotic seminars, we did a lot of chewing. And, this woman really just started crying. And she just started crying how beautiful her food was. It was just like, she just didn't get or take the time to see how precious food is, how it's so precious. It's, we don't even get it. We just gobble things down, and, we don't chew our food, and we don't take time to, get off social media. That's what I've taught so many years, get off social media, get off the music, everything about getting engaged in your elements in the kitchen. And so you brought that forward. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. So many people actually, they will eat in front of their computer. And let me show you. Shall I show the mandala?
Yeah.
How do I share the screen?
Oh, it's a little challenging, but not bad. You go back.
If you go to my Instagram, if it's easier for you to share it.
That's okay. You can do it if you have it up. Is it up?
So
you might as well learn it.
StreamYard, right? Do I go to share screen?
Share screen.
Okay.
And then you have to push the second button over. The top of that little box has two different sections.
Oh, a Chrome tab? Here we go.
Yep. And then you should see the screen that you want to share. So you have to press on the screen that you want to share.
Do you see it?
Nope, not yet. So you have to go down. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I have to do it with you probably.
Sharing this tab to StreamYard.com. It says it's sharing.
Okay, here it comes. I saw something flash up.
Oh, maybe it flashed up and it's okay. Sharing is easiest with two monitors. Screen sharing.
Yeah, don't worry about it now. We'll get it on. But the mandala, if you want me to share it, I'm not sure how I would do that right this minute. But that's okay. We'll figure that out. But actually, at the top of that little share screen,
it says StreamYard.
It says application. It says your entire screen. And then it says application window. You have to go to the application window.
Okay.
And then press on the screen that you want. So if your mandala is there, press on that screen and then share.
Okay.
There it is. Awesome.
You see it?
Yep. And now I get to put it up.
Isn't that pretty?
Awesome. It's so beautiful. So beautiful.
So that's one. And then I did another one the other day. This one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, did you see this
Awesome.
one? Can you see this one?
No. Love it.
This one is with daikon and plantain. This right here was the end of parsnips. I did rhubarb and broccoli. So it was
Oh.
featuring more like whites and tans and greens.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then this rugged sign that I found on the street, which just makes me happy. Be kind.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
So, all right, cool. Yeah, it's beautiful.
What's your Instagram so people can find you?
It's Marcie Prohofsky. It's my name.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So go on Instagram and start seeing. I think these should be totally, like during COVID, I feel like it's time to do this. Like Connie, what do you think? Like you're the color master. Connie's a master.
Oh my God, the colors in your creations, Marcie, are unbelievable. Like, you know, it makes me want to make my own paints.
We are blessed in California with incredible produce. You know, you go out of our state and it definitely drops off in terms of the variety. As you go east, it's even, you know, worse. In Europe, I know that they have very limited variety. We are so blessed here.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah, we're like, it's like we live on another planet.
Yeah. And one of the beautiful things, right, about this time is people are gardening for the first time. And so we can grow ourselves, these beautiful beets. This is a Chioggia beet, you know, a red onion. We can actually, even from food scraps, we can begin to grow our own food.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it so much in my past. And I literally want to start some containers out the backyard. And, you know, during this whole time I was finishing a degree, and I like what you also said about the 15-second rule before you grab something. So share a little bit more about that. I thought that was really fascinating.
Well,
where did you learn about that? How did it come about?
Where did I learn about that? I can't recall, but it made so much sense to me.
Yeah, totally.
You know, when I'm in this sort of desperate place, right? I'm in survival mode.
Yeah.
Anytime we're in survival mode, we generally are not making very good decisions. Although there are places where our adrenaline kicks in. So, I mean, the choice to eat something is a good choice. So we're doing, you know, so we are choosing to survive. But given a little bit, if we back it up and we plan, you know, it's kind of like new tires. We know at some point our car is going to need new tires. Our roof is going to need to be replaced. We are also going to know that, like, oh, a few times a day, I'm actually going to really need a substantial meal. And so many people don't plan for any of those things.
No.
We treat it like it's an emergency. It's an emergency purchase to buy new tires for a car.
Right.
It's not. It's not. It's going to happen inevitably. So what if we started to look at both some of those expenditures, some of those needs, as well as our food needs? Is like, oh, I know it's going to happen. You know, I dated someone who had a 5-year-old son, and he enjoyed cooking. However, he was definitely he worked really hard. He ran a really busy business, and he would come and he would just sort of like chow out of the fridge. When we would leave to go on a trip, and we would take his son, we would have arguments. I would want to like bring food, and he would like, no, we can just get it there. And then I would just go and get some anyhow. And he was kind of cranky about it. And then he'd be eating up all the food and was so grateful that I had it. And he didn't know how to plan for his child. I mean, you know, we are all just little children in these adult bodies.
Yeah.
And we need to take good care of ourselves and carry snacks and think ahead. And so it's, you know, going to the grocery store not on an empty stomach is a good thing, you know.
Marcie, I have a question. What kind of snacks do you like to have around?
Ooh, that's a great question. I love seeds and nuts. I love pumpkin seeds. I have a soft spot for nut butters. like almond butter. I have to watch out because sometimes I'll eat a jar almost like it's a pint of ice cream.
Oh
So
yeah.
I have
love
to kind of, what else do I like to have snacks? Hummus is a great snack. Whether you're making it's so inexpensive and so easy to make ourselves and cleaner. Again, like the stuff in the market oftentimes has a lot of, cheap oils, and it's not very much money. I mean, not very much quantity for like $3, $4, $5. But that's a really great snack. I know some people, I don't eat eggs very often, but hard-boiled eggs can be a great thing to have on hand. I'm not a huge fan of those bars, like energy bars, because they do have a lot of, crap and sugar and sweeteners in them. They're just very, what we call in macrobiotics, yin. So they give us quick energy, but they don't sustain us that well. And they also accumulate in the body. And most illness, most cancers are an accumulation of yin. Lynn, do you want to say a little bit more on that piece?
When I start looking at dietary change, it's a big one. So there's 5 tastes, right? There's 5 tastes. There's bitter, sweet, salty, pungent, and bitter, sweet, sour. And so for me, when we're looking at the 5 tastes, their quality, I remember one of the first greatest things I learned was to have at least 4 meals to 5 meals a week with those 5 tastes. And when I started doing that, then I was nurtured from a whole place. And it wasn't about just yin and yang. It was about my organs being nurtured and really sustaining that. And I think that's where I tend to go with most of my teaching, because I feel like those tastes, most Americans are only eating, they're drinking coffee for the bitter or chocolate
for the bitter.
Right. And they're not really, they're using salt and sweet, salt, sweet, salt, sweet. So ice cream chips. So Michio used to call it hungry ghosts. We become a hungry ghost and we're chasing food instead of chasing our dream. And so when we're chasing our dream,
chasing our food. What did you say? Is chasing our food and not our dream?
Yeah.
So can you say those 5 again, those 5 categories?
Sure. Go ahead, Marcie. You're the master today. Bitter, salty, sour, pungent,
sweet, and pungent.
Yeah. Did you say bittersweet or no? Just bitter?
No, bitter. No. Bitter is your heart chakra and your heart. It's the time, and we're coming into the bitter time. It's the time of summer. And it's nice to eat bitter greens this time of year. So really starting to eat bitter greens, they start coming into the fold with your dandelion through the spring. But dandelions are both sour, but they can also be bitter. And it's the type of cooking, right? You've got a type of cooking that you can change your food quality. So if you boil kale, for instance, it becomes sweet. But if you steam kale, it's a little bit more bitter. So they're cooking styles that I think you've got to recognize on what you want on your plate. But what do you want to say about that, Marcie?
Me? Well, it is a really fun part of cooking to learn the alchemy. If you think about onions, for instance, right? They're round. Sometimes you cut an onion and they're so strong and spicy, but sometimes they're a little sweeter. When you cook them, they then become sweeter. If you cook a radish, whether it's a daikon radish or even just the regular little red ones you would classically put in salad raw, they're spicy. If you start to cook those, they become sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can change so much about what we're getting, but everybody does need sweets in the diet. That does not mean it needs to come from something that is filled with sugar or is high, lots of fruit. We can actually get sweetness, for instance, in the way we cook our kale, like she just said, the way we, I love to do what we call a long saute.
Mm-hmm.
So I made one the other day. Oh my God, it was so delicious. I used root vegetables. I used parsnip. Actually, I cooked that up the mandala. So I used the daikon, which is white, and it's round. So that's also a metal element. It's good for heart. And and I cooked it with onion and parsnip. I think it was just those 3 ingredients. And it's so delicious. I put a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil, and did I put some tamari? No, I don't think so. Just that's all I did. And it was so divine. And I could eat it chunky, or I could then blend it in a couple of days and make it more of a puree. I could also puree it and then add a broth to make it into a soup.
We should have a class on sensuality of food, because I think that's where I go. Because creamy foods, Connie, for me, have helped me so much over the years. Creamy is really nurturing to women.
Yes.
And it's very important to have creamy type foods, like creamy desserts that are healthy. So we can make Cantons, which is a sea vegetable pudding. And it's amazing. It's a 10-minute dessert, and you can blend it with a little tahini and make it into this creamy, delicious pudding. And you can make it in all different types. And so there's so many reasons to eat sensually as a woman, specifically, because women need to eat less than men in their lives, because there'll be more of an attraction. Man can take a little bit more stronger food, a little bit stronger salt than a woman. So the art of cooking has so many layers, and we just appreciate you coming on the show so much. Thank you so much. And I hope everybody can get in touch with our beautiful friend here with her website, the Orgasmic Kitchen, excuse me. And really totally, be part of our lives here. And next week, remember, Alex Jack is coming. So I hope you come back on with him, and we'll have some fun next Saturday with Alex. It's pretty powerful that he's coming on. And, my goal with this show is also to have green products, and we have a few different. But thank you so much. We're going to let you go on the show, and Connie and I are going to wrap it up. And thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. And one thing, can I just add one more quick thing?
Sure.
So, Connie, to your question, it's I like to focus on what we can add to the diet, kind of in the, I don't ever eat any bitter foods. My bitter I do get in coffee. Okay, well, let me add some bitter foods, versus having the focus be on what do I need to stop eating? Because no one wants to be forced to stop doing anything. But if we start to add good behaviors, good foods, we go on, and then we generally will want more of that, more of a good thing.
Beautiful.
And so I like to, it's sort of an additive. Like, what can we add? And then, and also too, working with people's mindset. That's where my coaching skills comes in, because a lot of people have so much scarcity around time, or they have real blocks around self-care, treating themselves well. They don't necessarily know how to parent themselves. Mm-hmm. So I like to really work with people in those spaces to remove those obstacles, that way of thinking, and then all of a sudden, like, gathering the skills or what to eat becomes kind of a trainer. It becomes fun.
Yay!
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bull. It's good to be here.
All right. Thanks.
See you later. See you later, Gator.
Awesome. That was so fun. All right, Miss Connie. Next week, Alex Jack, you got to come on, 9 a.m. I know, and I can't believe you did the East West Journal. That was a great show with Marcie, super fun. There's a lot to food, and it's a deep, deep level of wisdom. He wrote the books, Bio Wisdom, and this goes into really deep, using diet and lifestyle to strengthen natural immunity, to develop your intuition, and to eradicate, the ideas, radiate clarity and peace. And so it's been really fun. So Connie, last words and wrap us up, and let's do it. Next show. So Green Hill Marin.
Every show creates more questions for me.
Exactly.
More just excitement, about living a really green, wholesome life, in your home, in your body, in your mind, in ourselves. And it's raising our consciousness to, understanding that we are worth that. Our humanness is really precious. So
Yeah, the preciousness of life, you know. I think I've been working on that because I've done so much in my life, and it's slowing down enough to just recognize that self-care and that nurturing of your home, of your lifestyle, of the way of life. And that's our Green Home Show. So I hope you join us next week. Thank you so much, Connie. Again, another great show.
yep. And we'll see all of you next week.
All right. And you can find us on actionsofimpact.com/green home. And if you want to see previous shows, go on Eco Inspired Living. And that's where you can find all the shows that we've had. It's a wrap.
Bye. Thanks.
Make your home beautiful. God bless you all. Take care.
Have a
Bye.
great week.